Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and today we are going to hear about a wonderful organization that is helping youth right here in Hampton. It is called Ketchmore Kids, and my guests are Troy and Chanell Ketchmore.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
So first, you two are siblings.
Yes.
Man, I don't know if my brother and I could do something together. I mean, there has to be something good about your shared background and the way you grew up and things like that, but do y'all fight?
No,
Not
actually,
really.
no. You know, I think that we have common cause, right, in what we're doing.
Yes.
And so that keeps us on the same page. Now, do we have challenges? Yes, that's what I call them. We have challenges,
good.
you know, but I
That's
think
a good way to look at it.
we do a really good job of working through challenges that come up, and we make it happen.
We was raised to always have each other's back. Our mother did a great job instilling that in us.
Yeah.
Like, that was first and foremost. If
That's
we would
important.
bump heads, like, she makes sure, we talk, what have you. None of that drag out stuff. So,
That's really good.
that's my partner. I'm her, I'm the big brother, but, in some regards, she's the big sister at times. So.
Are you running more of the operation, or is it really like kind of equal?
It is kind of equal. Like, we just play different roles, and so
Yes.
that's one of the beautiful things is that we've been able to kind of figure out what who's better at handling what types of roles we need to do, and it works good that way. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I started out kind of backwards. So tell us what Ketchmore Kids is and what you do.
Well, Ketchmore Kids is a nonprofit, community-based organization. We believe in hands-on, going, serving our community. Our motto is to catch more kids than the streets, catch more kids than the drugs, catch more kids than the prison system, the gangs, the violence. Mm-hmm. And we take a hands-on approach. We do multiple programs, whether it's Triple P parenting, we use healing with hip-hop, culture, where we take, and try to translate the lyrics for the young people to show them how, this can help, really help you get over some things like we got over some things growing up. Mm-hmm. I facilitate what's called a Think Tank, a program that I created, a 6-week program where I'm dealing with trying to transform the consciousness of our young people and get them to thinking better, questioning things that we've always been told or heard, and to try to, push our life forward in a positive manner. So we do a lot of programs, but it's a hands-on approach. We have a lot of partners that come to the table and add their work as well. So
that is wonderful. And I know that you've recently gotten, I think, 2 grants, maybe more, from the Department of Youth and Young Adult Opportunities, which I will also credit City Council for saying a lot of our federal money related to COVID has gone into prevention services for youth. So tell us what that money is allowing you to do right here in Hampton.
Yes, absolutely. So that money allows us to open our program up for free so that youth and young adults actually have access. That programs, it allows us to get out into communities so that we can engage residents directly through the think tank, specifically providing conflict resolution skills, but skills that are tangible, that our young people can use at home, in the community, in schools, in their work, in all life domains to help decrease violence that's taking place, so things that they can really use that will ultimately help save lives. And that's a part of what the funding that we receive allows us to do. And that's important. That's important. One of our focuses right now is really gun violence prevention. What are we doing to help have an impact in that area? Because every life that is lost is also connected to a family member, another loved one, a classmate. So
Violence doesn't just affect the person who does it and the person who is the
Right.
victim. It creates.
That's right.
it's a ripple
domino
effect.
effect.
It
That's
is.
right.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
post-traumatic stress for people
Yes.
who are around that.
Yes.
And it
And-
desensitizes people when it happens,
It
when they're in a
does.
neighborhood where it happens far too often.
And then we have the expectation, that our young people are able to go to funerals on Fridays, then get right up and go to school on Mondays over and
Yes.
over again and function, right? And so being able to address some of those factors that come up, that is what the funding allows us to do on a consistent and regular basis, and for more young people and young adults to have access to the services. So.
Well, Troy, tell me more about Think Tank, because obviously you guys learned conflict resolution. I mean, maybe I didn't start out the interview
Yeah.
backward. So, you're taking some of that, but young people today have a real short-term outlook.
Yes.
Like, even my son is like, I'm not going to live to 30.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have a long-term outlook for
Yeah.
for some kids, and so they think and act very in the moment. And maybe think isn't even the right word. Maybe they act in the moment and then think, too late.
Yes.
So how do you work at reversing that?
So I haven't lived a conflict-free life. So I come from where they come from. I did 26 years, 8 months in prison, wrongfully convicted. However, I haven't lived a conflict-free life. So I understand the mentality, the thinking that a lot of our youth have, because I had it. So I had to really dig deep to change my mentality. That's the first thing. So we go self, family, community, nation. I had to deal with self first. And I had some great teachers inside that helped me transform my mind. You challenged me. So we have to challenge each other, and we have to confront these fears, these impediments to our growth and development, whether it's fear, peer pressure, emotion. We have to understand these elements and define these things as they relate to us, and begin to challenge ourselves repetitiously. So it's like in the think tank, we have what's called we have a drill that every time a negative thought comes to your head, automatically replace it with a positive one, the replacement drill. So it's like, dude over there, whack, he got them little pants on. Then you replace it automatically, brother, all right, he doing his thing. You have to do this over and over and over throughout your day, but what it does is help you discipline your thoughts and gain control of your mind. And that's called a replacement drill. So it's little things like that we utilize to challenge them, to change your thinking, to try to gain control of this, because our mind is going to be all over the place. So we just want to get them to see the ditch before you fall in it. Now, it's not exact science. I don't do math, but we will get some of them. Trust me, we will get some of them, but it has to be repetitiously done.
And you may not get them all at that time.
Exactly.
If something happens, they can fall back.
It's a frame of reference
it
that's
is.
laying
So
in your
long to
subconscious.
change.
That's right.
It does.
It's a process.
And I like to look at it in the concept of we are either planting the seed, we are watering the seed, or we are harvesting, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't know where we're getting them at, the young people and young adults we work with when they come into our program, but we know that we are a part of that process. And so you're absolutely right. At some point, these things are still going to come up, and they're going to show up in their lives,
That's right.
and we know that we are a part of helping to make that happen. That's important.
So how do young people come into your program?
Yep, so we get referrals through a lot of the partners that we work with. So that can be through our partners through social services, through Centera Healthcare, we get referrals. And then families can contact us directly and say, hey, I have a young person that I would like to sign up for your program. So we do a lot of promoting when we have our different workshop dates and times scheduled. We make sure that information is available so that caregivers, young people can sign sign themselves up, and that's done through our website, which is ketchmorekids.org.
And we should say at this point, because you
Yes.
talked about catching more kids.
Yes.
Ketchmore is Ketch.
Yes.
Ketch.
Which is your last name.
Yes.
But it works
Yes.
in a marketing way, because I'm in marketing.
Good,
sort of thing.
very good
Yeah,
to point that out.
It's a great
Yes.
slogan.
Absolutely. And so it's KETCHMORE and then kids, KIDS. But the website is ketchmorekids.org. Our registration information is there. And we encourage individuals to get social with us on Instagram, on Facebook. We're up there as Ketchmore Kids. We get a lot of direct messages of individuals that want to sign up or sign someone else up that they know for the program. And so those are some of the ways that we get registrations into the program.
So what other programs or services do you have in addition to the think tank?
So as my brother mentioned, we also offer our Triple P parenting program. That stands for Positive Parenting Program, and that is absolutely free. It's for parents of all ages, and it's where we help to empower and, help parents become a little bit more confident with what they're doing. No child comes with an instructional manual, and it's tough, right?
Yeah.
So you may be dealing with supervision issues. It may be just not following through with directions. It could be just wanting strategies to help the family bond a little better. So when we work with parents, we don't go in saying, this is what you need to do, this is how you need to do it.
Yes.
It really is from a strength-based, non-judgmental perspective, and we just help parents kind of figure out different ways to handle situations differently, what's going to work with them, for them and their family. So Triple P is one of the programs that we also have that we're offering.
Well, and I think that's so important, and it is, because when you're a first-time parent especially, you have no clue what you're doing, and you fall back on the way you were raised. And if that's good, you've got good instincts, and if there are more challenges there, you just... you have to learn to drive. You have to take a class about learning to drive. You don't take a class. You don't have to take a class about learning to parent.
Right.
But you're going to do better if you do.
And
Everyone
then
is.
You're absolutely right. And the other thing is, it goes hand in hand with the Think Tank program, because if we're working with our young people, and then on the other end, we're working with parents or caregivers, they're in the home environment together.
Exactly.
It is really a lot of the challenges and different dynamics that come. It takes the family unit as a whole to work through those things. And so for us, it's really important to have that balance and to make sure that the parents and our young people are both feeling and being supported, as everyone moves through their lives.
That is great.
Also, we're currently doing what we call the pop-up tour. So we're galvanizing our partners and ourselves, and we're popping up to these hot spots, projects, and we come out there as a force. We're feeding the kids, we're taking one-on-ones with them, we building with them and the parents. Just showing them that there's somebody that do care. You're not out here on an island, and we'll be back. It's a repetitious thing, and we're actually going to do Phoebus Friday. We're going to Wise Thomas. We're going to go through Shell Road. We're hitting all of these areas out Hampton.
And they're easy to spot, because you can look at the crime reports of where gunshots are.
Yes.
And data helps us all be more effective now.
Yes.
Sadly, there's too much, of that data. But you gotta work with the areas that are just so impacted.
You really do. And I love the pop-ups that we're doing, because it eliminates barriers like transportation or timing or anything. And so for folks who may not be able to sign up and come sit down with us in a room for an hour and a half for a workshop, we are taking the services to them. It's on site. And so that part of it is beautiful, because it's real informal. We are just there. We're engaging. We're building a rapport. We're able to have conversations and communications. We're building trust with community members. And that part is amazing, and it goes a long way in having a positive impact as well.
Now, since you mentioned YH and at least North Phoebus, they have, for a very, very long time, both of them have had youth athletic leagues.
Yes.
And a lot of the research about young people is that you are more resilient if you have an adult that's outside the family, a coach or somebody else. But there are a lot of young people for whom athletics is not the answer.
Yes.
So explain how, you started and how you deal with kids who have other ways of expression.
Oh, we have fun with it. We allow them to come in. We have access to different studios and things like that. So for our young people who are interested in music or some of the artistic elements that we mentioned earlier, then we have ways to kind of link them in to some of those activities. And then with some of the partners that we have, all of them bring different elements in. So we rely on the support system of our partners. And as we see these young people come in, as we get to know them, a part of that engagement and learning who they are and what they really like, then we're able to then link them to some other folks that we work with, and kind of fill some of those gaps and make sure they can tap into their natural talents or explore some areas that maybe they haven't even explored before. One of our partners is working on a lacrosse program. A lot of young people haven't heard of the sport, even though it's still sports. It's different than your typical, basketball, football.
Yeah.
And so, that's something. We have partners who work on etiquette, business professional etiquette. We have another partner who's looking at drone technology and teaching young people how to fly drones and different things like that. So when we know what they're interested in or what that spark is, curiosity, then we are linking them to partners, even if we don't have it in-house. We use our support.
And with this partnership, we're bringing resources and connects to them on a grassroots level that they, normally wouldn't have contact to these individuals, wouldn't know how to get in touch with them. We bring it right there to them, through conversation, and you find out certain information. Well, hold on, let me make a call. And we can connect the dots like that. So that's key.
And those partnerships, we value greatly because it is bigger than Troy, it's bigger than Chanell, it is bigger than Ketchmore Kids. There are a lot of amazing programs out here doing amazing work, and it really takes all of us to be in this together. So we're very grateful to be doing our part, and we're going to be honoring some folks who are doing amazing things in our community.
Yes, we are.
We have our second annual Black Excellence Gala is going to be in Hampton at the Virginia Air and Space Center on November 26th. But we are honoring other folks in the community who haven't been recognized. They're working. They're out there every single day and putting in the work, changing lives. And so we're going to be helping to bring some attention to them.
That is wonderful. And I think, that you can't fix a problem after you have it. You have to figure out the prevention. And it's very hard to measure. How do you measure, no one got hurt? It's a really hard thing.
It is.
But you can measure it by, number of people graduating, number of people getting jobs, finding, what their passion is, and all that. So it is just... It's just so important. And it's so important that the groups work together because, some kids might be interested in skateboarding and need to have that resource. And some kids might be this. And it's also really cool that different people have different life experiences. And you can speak, on some things. You can speak on other things. And other people bring that into the picture. So creating a whole community of nonprofits, of government, of volunteers, of schools that all work together to benefit kids.
There's not one solution. It's all hands on deck. That's going back to that village. That's that village, you're recreating a village that will attack these problems, And that's what we try to manifest with what we do with Ketchmore Kids. We're always open to partnership and people coming in and doing their part, or not just when we do something, when some of our partners have something, we there.
Yeah.
We there, you know, so it works like that.
And when you work together, you're going to draw more people,
Yeah,
which
that's the
means you're
spirit.
serving more people.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
I'm just fired up. I get so energized when I talk to people who are out there doing the work. It's just exciting to have you
Yes.
in our community.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And
Yes.
and that goes both ways, because when you get excited, that keeps the fire and the passion
Yes.
and everything burning within us to keep going. And especially think about when we're running our programs and we have caregivers saying, we don't care where you all are at, what location, just tell me the time. I'm going to make sure my son is there.
Yeah.
Or when kids are telling us, hey, we loved it today, can you come back tomorrow? That is the fire that helps to keep us going and do what we do.
And not just other organizations, people, period, show up. What you want me to do? Like people hit me all the time. I'm getting off work, I'll be there. What y'all need me to do? And they just lend their help and support.
Yeah.
You know, see, they're basically, they've been saying, we need help. So as long as they got somebody that's consistently coming, and now they feel like they have help, they want to add on too.
Yeah, you don't want to be one voice in the wilderness. You want to be a chorus.
Yes.
And even though we grew up, born and raised in Newport News, I know I was in Hampton a lot,
She
right?
went to Bethel.
Yeah, I graduated from Bethel High School. We ended up relocating to Hampton, but as a teenager, as a preteen, like I had friends in Hampton. So these areas that we are working in, like I've been in these areas, I've walked in these areas, I've hung out in these areas. And so on a personal note, right, just being able to go through challenges, come out, you know, be successful, and show back up in the
right.
places that we grew up in, that is so powerful. And that also helps keep us going.
That's why what she said, what we're doing on November 26th with Black Excellence, we don't want it all about Ketchmore Kids. No, we're recognizing those that shoulder to shoulders with us in these trenches, people that have changed their life, just like me, and we're recognizing them in front of everybody. You know, so we want to invite you out as well. We're recognizing them in front of everybody. That way, this thing is balanced out. We don't want it to I when we do nothing independently. We're not on an island. So we have plenty of help, plenty of partners, and that's key to us. That means something to us. So November 26th, I want to see you there
Yes,
too.
because
thank
seriously,
you.
even this platform and allowing us to share what we do, you know, and the questions, like this is not anything that we take for granted
Yes.
at all. And, you know, because you have amazing guests that you have up here. And
Oh,
so,
thank you.
yeah, this is one way, you know, that residents are able to find out, because they can't connect with us, they can't register for programs if they don't
That's
even
right.
know.
Oh,
Exactly.
right. Well, hopefully today they know.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you for
us.
the work you do.
Thank
It's
you.
so important.
Thank you, City of Hampton, City Council,
Yes, thank you.
Centera Healthcare. Like, again, we have amazing
Yes.
partners. So
It's
Yes.
important.
It
And
is.
it's important for people with resources to realize that those resources are extended
Yes.
when working through grassroots organizations.
Yes.
It's,
Absolutely.
government can't do everything,
Yes.
for sure. And there's a lot of times when there's somebody more effective that has more credibility in a community. And it's important that we all do it.
It
Everybody
is.
helps.
when those connections happen, they are very meaningful. So
They are. Thank you so much.
thank you.
For having us.
And thank you all for watching. I think, I'm developing tears, my heart's beating. I mean, this is really one of the exciting things going on our community, and everybody is working together to support the youth of this city and make sure that they have successful, productive, happy lives.
That's right.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.